squad's looking in terms of the players back, injuries, and so forth?
Coxie will be out with his foot. I don't know why he didn't say about it, but there you go. It's strange. His foot's horrendous. Got a bruise all the way over it. Tried to play on with it. Doesn't happen. You know, he shouldn't do that. But never mind. He's definitely going to be out. So we've called in Harry Chard into the squad to cover that. Grant's back. McGregor's back in full selection mode, which is good to see, and obviously it's a real good time for all of us to get some of them back, the defenders back, and everyone else is fine and ready to go. Harry missed training yesterday, slight soreness on his knee, but it's nothing serious, so he's all ready to train today, so I'm delighted.
What are your thoughts on the left back position with Georgia?
I've got a couple of people I can put there. I think it's not their normal position, but I think they'll be easily comfortable there. And I got a slight inkling as to who it will be, but I'm not going to say there because they'll be listening. But it'll be similar to the other night, really. I think what we did at the end of the game, how we managed to get back into it, weren't just 10 men. We were totally dominating the second half, and I had to try and outthink. I put 5 forwards on and 2 attacking midfield players out wide. I left myself with one real quick defender. I pushed one of the other defenders in. I couldn't do any more, and luckily we managed to get back in. But you know, I won't be able to start in a game like this like that, will I? So well done to the lads who came on. As I say, I thought they were absolutely tremendous. Every one of their little skill sets paid off in those moments. How Harry got that second one, I don't know. It was a great move, dictated by Tom Nichols, funny enough. He told, come on, Butts to get outside, and he got the ball back and played a lovely ball into Tish Cabs, and he twisted. But how Harry got his foot round there, I don't know. Stretch Armstrong. But it was a wonderful feeling, wasn't it? You know, we've had that a couple of times recently, and it's wonderful. Maybe makes up for some of the other stuff. But this is a totally different game. They've gone to Notts County, lost 1-0. And if you look at the stats, they could have won the blooming game, so I don't know how they're down the bottom. Are they overplaying? I have no idea what they're doing, but we know it's going to be really tough to keep the ball away from them. So, but when we played Notts County, we didn't have Harry, did we? He had a broken nose, so I got a lot to think about, but yeah, we haven't got much time to do much about it, but it is, and with the transfer window, good gracious me, it's certainly testing me at the moment, it really is. With all these things flying through your head over and over again, it's trying to keep it all. But it's so exciting, I have to say. I feel like a kid in a sweet shop. But sometimes you can't have all the sweets, can you? Probably that's the best one I've ever done, but that sums it up, with those old-fashioned sweet shops. You got the bonbons, oh dear, it's amazing. What's great is the people who want to come here now. That's the exciting thing. So obviously we've changed something with our last few results.
So let's ask about that. I think last week you were saying you might be hopeful of one more. I think so, both in terms of sort of possible ins and potential outs.
It would probably be only ins now, if there was any more.
So yeah.
It possibly only ins if there is any more. There might be one sort of swap, but it probably won't happen. So I've got something lined up in case something happens with one of our loans. Potentially one of our loans might go back, but if that happens, then I've already got a potentially another one lined up. So I don't know. If it does happen, good luck to the lad who goes back. If it don't, he's still with us and it don't matter. And if it does, I've already got someone else lined up anyway. So, but I'm not sure about that. And again, you don't know what's going to happen in these. This is the worst window you could ever have in your life. And we still got someone else here that I'm having a look at again to try and see if he could cover a certain area for us. But Literally, it's not in my hands anymore. It's in the hands of the club, our club, and other clubs to see what happens. And I don't know. I got to get on with this game. And literally, all that matters to me is this game. Absolutely vital for me that we carry on the good work that we've done. If we don't, the rest of our season is not going to look how I want it to look. And that's it in a nutshell. Can't say any more than that. If we don't get what I want us to get, for me, the season's ruined. That's how I feel.
I think the names have just has come out there on one or two websites and so on. Is anything you can say about that?
All I can say, if you read into what I've already said, there might be things happening. I don't like ever mention anybody else about anybody else. Names should never be right or wrong until anything happens, and I only ever talk about truly someone if they're in the building, and the rest of it can stay out there. If that makes sense.
How much sort of emotional energy, if you like, is it taking you as a group to sort of drag you out where you were from the start of December, and how much does that kind of take out of you as well as all that, you know, just the physicality of playing so many games?
I can only speak for me. I feel absolutely exhausted at the minute. I'm having to deal with something else in my life as well, my wife, and health issues. So it's tough, trying to balance everything and get everything right. But all I do know is you get up, you go to bed early, you get up early. I was up at 5:30 in the gym. I got to do those things to make sure that I'm right. I help her be right, and then I come in here and I do what I need to do here, because if you don't do all the bits for yourself, then what's the point of living? And I know I need to know that I'm physically and mentally fit, ready to go. I've done my work, and that's all early when everyone else is in bed, and right, let's go and get on with the rest of the day. And not everybody's in bed by about 8 o'clock, 8:15 at night, are they? But I am now, because I have so much to do and so much to think. And if I don't go to bed at those times, I'm not getting the right sleep. So it's a wonderful life. I am loving every minute of this at the moment. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's been really, really tough. And in that first half the other evening, we looked a little bit clueless as to what to do about what they were doing. And basically, they just blocked word onto their manager. He came here, left his best two players off the pitch, put them on the bench, and tried to stop us. They got a fluky goal. He never meant that, not in a million years did he mean that. Listen to his interview after the game. But things happen, don't they? But not being funny, we tried. I've seen people do that time and time again and never get back into it. And for us to run away with 3 goals, it was, you know, I wouldn't say it was luck. We deserved it. But sometimes those things don't happen, do they? But, you know, we're in a positive run. It's taken every single body in there to have a good look at themselves and to say, well, actually, this isn't good enough. And how we're acting as a group of people isn't good enough. And I'm delighted that they're doing it so well now, because they're helping each other out there. They're encouraging each other. They're not making the mistakes they made before. They're learning from things. They're encouraging people when they have it a wrong pass or they have done a wrong thing, to not get too down. You can see it. It's wonderful. And you can feel it around the ground. So it's just a whole being part of something that feels better than it was before. And you could lose it as quickly as you've got it. So we haven't done anything. Honestly, we have not done anything. And I remember when I was at Grimsby in the first season, we had 3 really important games in a week and we lost every one of them. So we dropped back down to the wrong end of the table. We haven't even done as well as Grimsby did yet. So we're nowhere near where we need to be, in my opinion. So this one game, we lost the last one we had a chance to do anything about. It was at home. It was a killer. and we're playing a team that I don't think deserves, if you look at the stats, to be where they are, but all their football doesn't match up with what they got up front. One or two signings, maybe today, maybe before the game, could change all of that, because we were lucky to run out 2-0 losers at Knox County the other week, and they almost outplayed them in the second half. So, this division is amazing. But what we've got to do is go there and implement what we want to do onto them, not try and stop them. Their manager tried to stop us, and then he forgot to attack us when I had all those attackers on the pitch. I had 2 wide players who were running with it. I had 2 defenders left. I put the 3rd defender in front. The rest of them were forwards, and he should have done something about it. But he wanted to sit on a 1-0 lead before 10 men. I can understand it at 10 men, but not the rest of the game. So, but we are what we are who we are, and I will always try and win a game. It cost me in the Morecambe game, because I put on young people who I thought could go and do it. I forget about the pressure that's out there, but for me it's not pressure, it's how I live. It's wonderful. I don't feel right without having the win, or it hasn't gone right, what are you going to do about it? I don't feel right personally without that. So maybe I'm weird, that's how I'm wired, I don't know, but this is all so exciting for me. But I have to stop everything and say, right, what are we trying to achieve here? This is so important, and it is every single game. Ollie Clark's statement in the programme that Callum lit up in white wording summed it all up. Every game gets more and more important, and in my lifetime there's never been one more important than this one on Saturday. And I know what we need to do, and if we don't do it, I will be bitterly disappointed. If we want to be serious about looking what we should be achieving, it should be the other end of the table. And that's the one I'm looking at. We cannot afford to slip up ever the rest of this season if we want to get where I believe we should be heading. So that's where I'm looking. And equally, if we don't get what I want us to get and they beat us, then we could be looking right back in that terrible, horrendous dogfight for the rest of the season. And that's how close it is right now. Because everybody else, they were all sort of mid-table, all thinking they're all right. Hang on a minute, we'll wait a minute. A couple of bad results in this month, and they could slide right back in it. It's that close. From top to bottom, in those middle bits, is so close, it's unreal. And a few games ago, we were right down. We were bottom of the league against Colchester. I should never ever forget Colchester the rest of my life. And I'm so pleased with what the lads have done since then. But it's about where you want to be. It's about the drive that you have in you as a human being and what you can add to the group. And I'm hoping that the people we've already added are starting to show the bits and pieces. Luckily for me, they've started to add things, Joe Wesley came on, scored a goal. He started the other night. I brought him off. I put someone else on. And I'm really pleased with Glatz. I'm really pleased with Cabs. Really pleased with Tom, how they came on and did what they did. I'm really pleased with Butts. Really pleased with Cots, because it's not easy being on a bench and then, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to start in football, but really it's a totally different game these days. You've got to be ready to be a starter and a finisher. And if you add them all up, that gives you a chance to win any game. And at the minute, we've lost so many before and during my time here. That's too many. Can we recoup enough to have a fantastic run from now until the end of the season? That's what we're going to need. And I think character, this game, is going to tell me where we are. Truly, where we are. We're going to go to their ground and face the fact that they could catch up with us, take 3 points off of us. And what that'll do to them, we've got to stop that, and we've got to do the opposite to them. Can we do it? And that's what I'm asking these lot to think, and what I'm telling them, that I think that they should be nailed on in their mind, that there's nothing else matters. It doesn't matter what you did then. It matters what you do next. And can we do it? It's a big question, and I can't wait to see what the answer is. You know what I mean? So, and again, nothing else matters until you've actually done your next thing. It's all right hitting a wonderful ace. Oh, didn't get near that one. If you put the next two in the net, you're back where you were. So what is life all about? This is incredible. Let's see what we can do. And it's the toughest, the longest journey that you could ever have in your life. The weather's going to be terrible on the way up. We got to train on AstroTurf beforehand because we can't work that out. It's transfer deadline day. Things are happening everywhere. Whoa, my phone's rung in one of your meetings, you know. But all I know is I've done what I can. I'm going to do what I can in a minute. And I'm going to try and enjoy tomorrow and see what that brings. Thank you very much.
Just having Grant and Joel back eased quite a lot of pressure on the defensive unit, given you've kind of had to play the same ball for quite a while now.
Yeah, you need choices. You need to be able to change things. But you know, they've been pedal to the metal ever since I've been here, and Tamishi and Will Wright. But they're getting better, aren't they? The way they're playing. I think is that 3 or 4 in a row that Will's got man of the match. So it's hardly a stress for them, is it? But from the manager's point of view, from the numbers point of view, for the physical and mental side of how important they've been, it's nice to have some other people that I might be able to swap them out, give them a little bit of a breather. But you know, they've all done very well. Ryan is the one that I'm more concerned about because he was out. And I thought losing Billy was a big blow, and obviously Coxey now as well. So, you know, down that left-hand side. But this is what a football club's about. Have you got enough support? Is there a young man who can step in and do things as well as an older senior one? The senior ones have data, they have experience, they can do that. With a young one, you don't know what's going to happen. He could be your best player in your under-18s and then get out on a first team and freeze. You know, we've seen it all before, but you know, at the end of the day, the club, the way it's run, the way that young players have been encouraged, I got no worries about bringing one of them up if I need them. I know they won't let me down. Short term, long term, it might be too much for them. So it's nice to have a selection of other people that I know have already played, who I know I could put into this level, and I know the certain level that they would give me out of that, which is obviously Grant and obviously Joel. But at the end of the day, I'm in a really nice position now where I've got lots of people really confident and wanting to play. So sometimes that's a headache, but I quite enjoy that side of it. So you're right. I might have more choices and I might have different shape choices because at the minute I'm very limited to. I haven't even got 3 defenders, have I? I've had to put Ollie back there. Yeah, so I'm delighted to have them back.
You said that Miguel Freckerton wasn't too far away. Where's he with his injury, and has there been any update with where Sheffield United are with him?
Yeah, I've asked for him back. We had a meeting the other day. We looked at the things. I believe my group now will help him, and I believe his skill set will suit us again with how well everyone else is playing. So I've asked for him to come back, and I think he'll be back on Monday. And he might be trained. I think he's training today up there fully, and he might be ready within a week. So for me, that's really good news. And all I will ask is the fans out there to support him if I do. I think he's worthy of support, like Anthony was the other day when he made a mistake. Nobody moaned at him, so that's a long time ago he made a mistake. He's a young man, and I'm sure in this environment, he'll thrive. We know who he is. We know he's going to be fit. I've had a long chat with him 2 days ago, told him how I felt, and I'm delighted with his response. So I want him back. And he will be back, and hopefully that'll be a smooth transition as of someone else who you don't know, you haven't seen work. And the skill set that he's got, which is his pace and his individual defensive duties, will certainly slot in at left-sided centre-back in a 3, left-sided centre-back in a 4, or even left-back in a 4, and left wing-back. So that's how I see it. That's what we've got. And that's what I want to do. The situation was that if they take him back, I might have to still pay for him anyway. They might have to try and find him some different club to loan. So I felt that's not right. Let's have him back and let's polish him up and let's make him one of ours from now until the end of the season, like you've done with everybody else I've brought. Because I want him. And I hope that's good enough for you, if I want him.
So you mentioned having someone with you at the moment, showing what they might be able to add. How long have they been with you, and how?
He was here yesterday and he's here today, and I've got to make a decision by, I'm going to have to go and have a look in a minute. He hasn't been playing since August. Scott Malone, who I've had before. And it's just about fitness level, and if he's not as fit as I would need him to be, then there's no point in me having him. And I asked him, you're more than welcome to come down, so he came down yesterday. I've been in the hospital all day, so I couldn't see him. But I'll look forward to seeing him this morning. It's only on AstroTurf, but my run will tell me where he is. So good luck to him for doing that. He's done it before, so he should know all about it. But that's it's just a yardstick where I know, but we'll see. How's that?
On Coxey, how bad is it? 'Cause
I'll show you it in a minute.
Obviously,
It's black, blue, horrible.
bad, and then it was not so bad, and now it's. Is it still the same issue?
No, it's a different issue.
Different issue.
It's a different issue, but it's a different foot. But he's so different. He is really, he's totally unique. He's out there. As a person, he's just out there. I told him he should live in Glastonbury, you know. He is, like, literally one of my favourite people in the world. I just look at him and he's just brilliant, George. And I went, what happened? Oh, yeah, I tried to play on and it's a bit sore. A bit sore? Are you serious? A bit sore? Good gracious me. Do you know what I mean? And his crosses weren't like him. His foot, he could hardly... And what are you doing? Why didn't you tell me? You realise I'm judging you, thinking you're all right, and look at your foot. Oh, I tried to play through it. Good gracious me. Everybody's different, aren't they? It's absolutely insane. I just looked at it, honestly.
So it's just bruising.
That's absolutely horrendous.
It's not.
Swollen,
Yeah.
bruised,
Yeah.
blown up. Looks like someone's dropped a 20 kilo weight on his foot. I mean, what on earth? And you're trying to play with that? Come on. Strange.
So I guess the medical guys need to.
Oh, they're going to kill him in a minute. Listen, it just happened and he tried to play on. Now it looks a lot worse. The blood, the bruising's come out. So, and I went, what on earth? Look at you. He didn't know it was going to do that, did he? So, you know, but oh my goodness me. Every one of them has to say, you know, oh, this is a little bit. And they do. They have a job. They have a job to tell us. So, you know. But with Ryan, we've got that. With Ryan in a minute, and we've got to have that looked at. So,
His knee.
yeah.
Is he travelling with you?
Yep. He's been playing with it. So it's his stitches, so we know what it is, and we know that they got to take that out. But again, he doesn't want to lose his place and what have you. But we're trying to monitor how sore it is and how sore. What we got to do about it. Do you know what I mean? So. And I've asked him to, can you limp out there again for a bit? Because who's going to be my left centre half without? Do you know what I mean?
And what about Joel Cottrell? Because I'm presuming he's the one that you're still thinking about. He may end up getting called back. Is he
Eh.
going with you to Carlisle?
Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is. At the moment he is like, unless I know any different after this. But that's the information that I was given yesterday. They might want him back. They've just sold Grimes. They're buying someone for next season, and it would only make sense if he's been doing well for us. They would have seen him play, particularly Newport. Thought he was excellent. And I know Luke Williams very well, so I've had some regular conversations about his player, why I haven't picked him, why I did pick him, where I like him, what he's been doing. And particularly after the Derby defeat the other day, we were chatting the day after, and I said he would have never let that happen. As a Welsh boy, he would have never let that happen. I had to tell him the truth, you know, as an individual, when it gets tough, he fights. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a wonderful situation to be in, you know. I've got a boy who I really like. I think he's good. I love his attitude. You saw what it meant to him with the goal the other day when he's jumped up on Harry's. You know, that picture that we got of him doing that was excellent. I don't know, and he doesn't know, so we'll have to wait and see. Because I'm having a say in everything that happens here, whereas Luke waits and sees what happens. Is very different. He's a head coach where he's not. That's what Swan's his way, so we'll have to wait and see.
Obviously, if you've got someone coming in, potentially on loan, if he goes back, you're still going to have 6 if you're reintegrating Miguel. How do you balance 6 loanees with only 5 being allowed in the squad and the man management side of it?
I should know how to do that, shouldn't I, by now?
Yeah, I'm just interested as how that works.
Yeah, we might be able to manipulate that round and make one of them a full-time thing.
Okay.
So we can get over that problem. It's not ideal, because clubs only loan you people to get them playing. But something might happen that might make that a wasted question.
It's never a wasted question because you've given me some info that we didn't
No, no, it is. This is the whole point. This is how difficult things are these days. But you know, as I say, long term, I want the club to be. I'll just pluck one out of the youth team, chuck them in, because they'll be doing exactly the same as us, and you know we'll know all about that. But you know that gap of under 18s, not under 21s, is massive at the minute. It's almost too big, and it's asking too much for the young ones. Luckily, we got some real good ones, I think, so they might overcome that, you know. But this is the way it is, you know. If you look at Tottenham, they got loads of injuries. Had an excellent result. Was it last night? Young kids scoring. Wow. Everybody's talking that, and that brilliant. It is. But if you had to use them every week, would you be hurting them if they're not getting you where your club needs to be? So it's about the balance. And talking to players is something that I pride myself on. I never lie to them. I always tell them what I'm thinking, and I always tell them the truth. And if they don't like it, we don't get on. Because I always want to know where I stood with someone. And if you ask Latz, he knows, and look at his reaction to what I asked him to do the other day, and this is what life's all about. Wherever you are, you can do something about it if it's not where you want to be. And that's the responsibility that I give you. But I will tell you what I need you to do and not lie to you. So it's about how you process that and what you do about it. And years ago, everybody would try so hard because they realised how threatened they are. Whereas young people these days are given far too much, or promised things till they're at least 21, and their matches don't matter if they lose. How is that going to work long term? I don't think it is. Even for the rich people, even for the huge clubs, I don't think it is. You're going to get under 21s thrown out, right? Real good players thrown out because they were in a system that I don't think works. And it's a crying shame. And what is football going to do for all of those? Do you know what I mean? Because you watch under 23 game, 21 game, and I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm watching. Centre halves can't edit. Everything's on the floor. as hardly a ball. You know, it should be below head height football. Then you get in the second division, and what happens to it? It just, do you know what I mean? So, honestly, it's a wonderful thing. Everybody's got opinions, haven't they? And I will be talking all day about mine, but I got some other things to do now. It's so exciting, so wonderfully wrong. For me, the whole system's broke. It's wonderfully wrong, and it's going to slam shut on Monday, which is madness. How is your milk going to last that long from now to the end of the season? You know what I mean? It don't make sense. Is your bread going to be stale by then? You know? And it's all right having people not playing, but that ain't no good for anybody. So let's see what we've got. Let's see where we are. Hopefully the injured lads will come back. And those problems will, and if everybody's fit, I might have some severe problems. I might have to leave one or two out, and then you'll see what your attitude's like at your football club. But for me, we've got major issues to overcome yet, which are a relegation battle. That's what is my big priority. Get out of that. I'm nowhere near out of it yet.
Thank you.